The handcuffs bite into her wrists as the military police officer tightens them. Sarah Mitchell doesn't flinch. She's used to pain. What cuts deeper is the way he's looking at her like she's garbage. Stolen valor, he mutters, loud enough for the crowd gathering outside the base exchange to hear. Her service dog, a Belgian Malinois named Ranger, presses against her leg, whining. The officer smirks at her prosthetic blade peeking from beneath her jeans. That thing from Amazon? But Sarah stays silent, because in exactly 4 minutes, his radio is going to crackle with a call that will drain every ounce of color from his face. 30 minutes earlier, Sarah had just wanted coffee. The base exchange near Fort Bragg allows veterans with proper ID, and she's been coming here for months without issue. But today, there's a new guy at the security checkpoint zone, eager, with something to prove. He studies her dependent ID card like it's written in code. This says dependent spouse, he says. You're trying to use your husband's benefits. I'm not married. Sarah's voice is steady. That's a coding error. My veteran's card was damaged. I've been waiting on the replacement. His eyes drop to her leg, to the carbon fiber blade that replaced her left leg below the knee. The skepticism drips. And that's from, what? Skateboarding accident? The woman behind Sarah in line shifts uncomfortably. Someone pulls out a phone. Sarah feels the familiar heat creeping up her neck, the kind that has nothing to do with anger, and everything to do with shame she shouldn't have to carry. Afghanistan, 2019. I was a combat medic with the 82nd. Sure you were. He keys his radio. I need an MP at the main exchange entrance. Possible stolen valor situation. What he doesn't know, what he can't possibly know, is that the woman standing in front of him holds a silver star. The military police officer who arrives is cut from the same cloth. Staff Sergeant Derek Vance has been doing this for 6 years, and he's seen every scam in the book. Fake IDs, borrowed uniforms. People desperate enough to cosplay as heroes for a 10% discount. He doesn't see Sarah Mitchell, the woman who dragged 3 soldiers from a burning MRAP while her own leg was shredded by shrapnel. He sees a problem to be solved. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to come with me. I haven't done anything wrong. Then you won't mind answering some questions at the Provost Marshal's office. His hand hovers near his cuffs. We can do this easy or hard. Ranger growls a low, threatening sound that makes Vance's hand move to his sidearm. Control your dog. He's a registered service animal. Control your dog. Sarah's hand finds Ranger's collar. The crowd has grown. Phones are definitely recording now. She can see it in their faces, some sympathetic, others hungry for drama. A few already convinced she's a fraud. This is how it happens, she thinks. This is how you become a headline. But something in her refuses to break. Maybe it's the same thing that kept her conscious while her blood soaked into Afghan sand. Maybe it's pure stubbornness. She holds out her wrists. Then arrest me. Vance wasn't expecting compliance. It throws him for a second, but he recovers, Mel clicking as the cuffs lock into place. You're being detained for suspected fraud and misrepresentation under the Stolen Valor Act. He's reading from a script now, covering his ass. The security guard looks vindicated. Someone in the crowd actually slow claps. Sarah closes her eyes, breathes, counts to 10 like her therapist taught her, but Ranger knows. The dog's hackles are up, his body rigid. He's trained to detect Sarah's panic attacks, her PTSD episodes. Right now, he's detecting something else. Something wrong. They're halfway to the patrol car when Vance's radio screams to life. Not the normal chatter. This is different. Urgent. The voice on the other end is sharp, clipped-hand officer's voice. A senior officer. All units. This is Provost Marshal Colonel Hayes. Stand by for priority traffic. Static. Then, Staff Sergeant Vance. What is your current location? Vance freezes mid-step. The Provost Marshal doesn't call individual MPs. Ever, sir. I'm at the main exchange with a detainee. Release her immediately. The security guard's smug expression cracks. Sarah opens her eyes. Vance's hand is trembling slightly on the radio. Sir, this individual is suspected of stolen valor. She's claiming military service, but Staff Sergeant. The colonel's voice could cut steel. You have 30 seconds to remove those handcuffs before I personally come down there and remove your stripes. Do you understand me? The crowd has gone silent. Someone's live stream is getting very, very interesting. Vance fumbles with his keys, his face cycling through confusion to fear to something like nausea. The cuffs fall away. Sarah rubs her wrists, saying nothing. Ranger leans against her. Calm now. Someone want to tell me what the hell is going on. The security guard's bravado is gone. Vance's radio crackles again. But this time, it's not the colonel. It's a different voice, older, weathered. This is Command Sergeant Major Williams, Pentagon Liaison Office. The woman you just detained is Captain Sarah Mitchell, Silver Star recipient for actions in Kandahar Province, where she saved 3 lives, while critically wounded. Her service record is classified at levels your security clearance will never touch. The coding error on her ID is because she's been consulting on a joint task force operation. That doesn't officially exist. A pause. The Secretary of Defense would like to know why his personal guest was just handcuffed at a military installation. The silence is deafening. Sarah finally speaks. Her voice quiet but clear. Can I get my coffee now? The security guard has disappeared. Vance looks like he might vomit. Colonel Hayes arrives in person for minutes later, not to discipline Sarah, but to apologize. The base commander follows. By evening, every MP on Fort Bragg has Sarah Mitchell's face in their briefing folder under Do Not Detain. The video goes viral, but not for the reasons the crowd expected. It's not about humiliation or revenge. It's about the moment frozen in a dozen phone cameras when Sarah looks at Vance and says, "You were doing your job. Just do it better next time, because that's what real heroes do. They don't need recognition. They don't demand respect. They just keep serving, even when the country they bled for doesn't always recognize them, even when the uniform they wore becomes invisible, even when every cup of coffee requires proving they're worthy of it." Ranger gets his puppuccino. Sarah gets her coffee. And somewhere in the Pentagon, a file marked classified gets an addendum about improving veteran identification protocols. The scars we can't see cut deeper than the ones we can. What's the bravest thing a veteran in your life has done that nobody knows about?